Hello everyone, we're here with a very chunky ass clue, who stole Tori's seat and is... Maybe I can fix this, hold on. I'm gonna have to adjust this a couple times today. Let's just shuffle you over there and shrink you down a little. Close enough, there you go. That's gonna be hard to fix later. Hi, we're back with D&D and everything is going great. Ravel is existing in the Upside Down at the moment.
Hi.
And has that mic.
It's a good mic.
Sure, yeah.
Is it not?
It sounds like the default laptop mic.
Wait, really?
Yeah. This is the part where it turns out you've had a headset this whole time. You're not even, like, selected in your audio options.
Oh no, TK to the rescue.
I didn't know it was...
to me, she just sounds British.
Oh, sorry.
It's like she's using an Aussie mic and it just makes her sound more English.
It's the same one I always use.
It doesn't sound like it.
I mean, it just probably just doesn't sound like it because we're used to TK sounding like that and we're not used to Ravel sounding like that.
Okay,
I feel like
wait.
I feel like Ravel's normal
Yeah,
mic is
do
more
I sound
crunchy.
normal and Ravel sounds weird?
You sound tired, but normal, yeah.
Well, other
Sounds
than
like my normal self.
Ravel sounding weird, I apologize if I sound weird, people. I am somewhere between passing out from tiredness and losing my voice from what is probably a flu coming in. So that's fun. It's not like I have to talk for a few hours straight or anything, right?
No.
Right? But I am, as ever, joined by these lovely people. We got a Valkyrie.
Hello.
TK's existing in the background. You heard her a minute ago trying to fix Ravel's mic. Which is TK's mic, but she's borrowing it.
There's nothing to fix. Everything's fixed. Everything's okay.
Yes. Then we have Ravel.
Hi.
Somewhere over there. And then Atomic Games.
Yes, hello.
Come
It is
here.
I.
And here's the part where you'd think I'd have, like, read through and remembered everything that I said in our last recap, because we've already tried this once before my internet died. Unfortunately, I feel less prepared than I did then. You know, everything was fresh, now it's been a few weeks, and I'm like, ugh, what is it? What is anything? Where is anything? So this is great. This is fantastic.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Hopefully my internet doesn't die. I should probably move my drink so I can see if that happens. And hopefully I don't end up slapping that while I'm flailing my arms around. Yeah, so last time, you were on your way to King's Rest to track down the crown of the Shattered King, King Leon, a magical artifact which is one of several shattered artifacts that can be used, or at least are the people you are currently trying to stop would like to use them, and your best way of countering them right now is to find these relics before they do. And with this being the only relic you know where to find, it's the first one you've gone after. However, on the way there, you stopped off at a village where you agreed to help them out, only to fight a group of fellow mercenaries led by a man by the name of Agroth. During the battle, Tori unfortunately fell, as she was bombarded by attacks from like 3 different people. And unfortunately, she died completely, in fact. After a few days of sad reflection aboard the airship, you managed to arrive at King's Rest, where you stopped off at the temple to put her body. Apologies, 1 second. Where you stopped off to put her body, and you had essentially been told, reaching out to Lady Fia, that the clerics of the god of the sun, life, light, etc., don't look very fondly on resurrection. And likewise, you heard from Lamb, although she wanted to help, it was against her doctrine as well. So it seems that most of the clerics are unable to provide such a service. However, Pia agreed to reach out to some contacts and cover the cost of the resurrection. And so you met a dwarven man, a paladin of Sune. Not a paladin, sorry, a follower of Sune, who was a jeweler and provided you with a diamond, although he did remark that it was slightly impure, of a slight bluish hue, but should hopefully get the job done. As you are there, Faith, you are having doubts about your connection with Sune, and feeling like you had failed in your responsibility. You attempted to bless this man, but based on your connection with Sune and how you felt about it, whether you felt you were worthy, the spell failed. After that, you went to visit the academy to find Slepny's friend, a Darian LaRoche, an orcish man, a professor, who is willing to provide the service of resurrecting Tori, as he owed a few favours to Slepny from back in the day, and was always willing to help a friend out. You met him and spoke with him, and he ran you through the entire process, basically telling you that it's a lengthy process. It takes about an hour to perform, although much of that is spent in the preparation, and that you will have to attempt to beckon Tori's spirit back to her body. So if you have any words to speak, the time will come to say them. He also remarked that Tori is likely to suffer from a post-resurrection sickness, a sort of exhaustion from the ordeal that is coming back to life. Besides that, you're explained some of how it would work, how the spell would be cast, and we're told that he will essentially cast a circle of protection around her, for both her benefit and your own. And as you were leaving, he told you to return, but after 5 p.m, when most of the academy is closed and most of the students will have gone home. And you, Faith and Zulil, had a couple of ideas of what you wanted to do in the meantime. Specifically, Zulil, I believe you wanted to find a bathhouse, I think it was?
Yes.
And Faith, you wanted to find somewhere that could do a tattoo for you.
Yes.
And that's basically where we left off. So, what is your first priority?
Following.
I think Faith's gonna go get a tattoo, I think.
I follow.
Okay.
I guess I gotta follow as well.
I mean, you don't have to follow. You can find a bathhouse and we can meet up there, or you can follow. There are
I
options
choose to follow.
available. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna include this game.
Having a look round and maybe asking around a bit, you find a place. They do sort of piercings, jewelry, and tattoos. Heading inside, you find that there is kind of a number of sort of like hairdresser stall type things. They also seem to do hairdressing, with like seats and mirrors set up, and there are these kinds of like reclining seats where you can lay back in it as you get a tattoo done or whatever. You can see that there is a desk with a number of like tools and needles, and inside is a Shadar Kai, a elven woman, or appears to be feminine at least, sort of side shaved hair. You can see they have a number of tattoos, some going up the shaved side of their head, down their neck, all over their arm, sort of black hair. You can see they're kind of a little bit like gothic in appearance, and they have like these sort of spiked like rings in their ears as like a band piercing, very spiky and whatnot. It doesn't look like there's any customers in at the moment though.
Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Do you do tattoos?
Yeah, we do tattoos, piercings, haircuts, jewelry.
I'm after something very specific.
Okay.
A memorial for a recent event. I'd like a withered rose with a single fallen petal underneath it.
Alright, I can do that. Something a little like this, and they sort of pull out a book, and there is a number of various designs in there. And there's just like a whole page of ones about like flowers and roses. Well, actually like a 2-page spread. There's a few different flowers, but there's an awful lot of roses. They seem relatively popular. They don't have like exactly what you're looking for, but they have like the gist. And they say sort of like something a little like this, but withered, the petal falling.
Yeah, I mean, you can see obviously from my outfit I have a motif, something matching or similar to the roses. There would be ideal.
Alright, let's see. They pull out a sort of charcoal pencil, and flip over to another page and begin sort of attempting to sketch a similar design but closer to what you've asked for. And after a minute or two, they turn it around and show you this quite nice sort of black and white design of a withered rose, as pretty much as you described.
The fallen petal, can that be the only bit that's in color? I'd like that to have like a pinkish tint to it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
They go over to some like there's like shelves and racks, and they pull out essentially like a little wicker basket type thing, with a number of bottles of inks of various colors, and have a little root through, and find a couple vials, and they're like, which do you like more? And one's sort of a lighter pink, while the other is like a reddish pinkish color.
The reddish pink one, please.
Sure thing. Put the other one back. Is this your first time?
It's my first tattoo, yes.
Alright. Bit of a warning, it can hurt a lot. Where are you looking to get it?
Over my heart.
Okay. Can do, but just word of warning, there's lots of ribs in that area, lots of bones. It can kind of hurt quite a bit. It's a lot of nerves.
That won't be a problem.
Okay. Just take a seat when you're ready.
And then she will look towards Clue and Zilil and then take the seat, and start taking off the various pieces of armor that would be in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then brace herself for the tattoo.
Okay. They sort of prepare you with some, like, aloe vera and other such things to attempt to numb the pain, and prevent eventual infection. And sterilize the needle over a flame. And give it a couple minutes to cool down before they begin the process. And it certainly hurts. As much as tattoos in our modern day can hurt, we have professional machines to do it. We're talking back in the day where you're like kind of dabbing it in ink and stabbing with a needle. It's not, I won't say it's that primitive, but it is kind of the old way of doing it, which certainly is not entirely pleasant of an experience. And to do it to, I think, to like a nice quality would probably take like an hour or two, especially like adding that color and trying to shade it in to look nice. But eventually, actually, do you want to give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh gosh.
Just to see how well you bear the pain.
Okay, that's a 17.
17, okay. I will let you describe to me how well you bear the pain of this.
So, Faith is gripping the chair, obviously in quite a bit of pain. She's like gritting her teeth, but some part of her seems to welcome the fact that it hurts. Like, it's almost like a penance in some way. Like she's earned the pain. She deserves it.
Yeah, I get you. After a grueling couple of hours, they kind of lean back, and they go over and get a couple bottles, and they hand to you a sort of tincture of, like, again, similar, like, aloe vera and herbs, things to numb the pain and prevent infection, and they hand it to you. Say, well, you're done. Keep it clean and apply this every morning. Try not to get anything in it. You don't want an infection. The redness and swelling will go down after a couple days. And they sit up the chair so you can see yourself in the mirror.
She looks at the design and nods in satisfaction.
Okay.
You do fantastic work, thank you. I appreciate this. What do I owe you?
Well, look, tattoos are important, and you said you're memorializing something, right?
The loss of a friend.
Yeah. Got some similar ones myself, and kind of raises her arm, points to one on like the back of her arm, and then goes sort of pulls up her shirt to the side just so you can see her waist, shows another one off, and there's a couple different tattoos on there that you gather are similarly to either mourn a loss, whether from a person dying or just leaving or a failed relationship or whatnot, but like to mourn the loss of someone in their life. And they say, tell you what, it's your first one, and it's important, so I'll do this one on the house, but come back if you ever want another.
And then, her eyes tearing up, she reaches over and hugs the tattoo artist.
She sort of tries to hug you up from the side where she's not like pressing on the tattoo. Just that sort of one-armed hug over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Really awkward.
Yeah, like super awkward, but it's just like, thank you so much. For what it's worth, soon I watch over you.
I hope things get better.
I'm working on it.
Grief takes time. Don't worry.
Are Clue and Zulil just watching for the whole time, or are they doing something?
I was gonna ask, like, but it's a bit late now. I kind of wanted to let you have your moment, so I didn't say anything.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna be like, do I actually see that you're in pain?
I mean, you would see her gripping the chair and like gritting her teeth. So.
Because then the crew might actually want to stop it.
Bless.
Someone set off fireworks outside my window. I'm so sorry.
I didn't hear.
I couldn't hear
Okay,
anything.
good. But
It
it's
might just
right
be
outside my
TK's
window.
heart going.
But no, I also don't do anything.
Okay, you guys just wait around. There's a few little like books and I would say magazines, but as close as you can get to magazines.
You just start flicking through all the books of tattoos, going, oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
pretty much. There's like a bunch of different designs on there.
I'm just staring at tattoo artists like the whole time.
You made Faith be in pain. I will kill you.
I just imagine this tattoo artist is like, from time to time, looking at me. It's like,
It's just this low key growl going on all the whole time.
But yeah, so next on the agenda, are you guys going to a bathhouse?
I mean, Tommy did say I smell, so I guess we're going to a bathhouse.
I never fucking said that.
You did.
Okay, well, fuck you guys too. Oh my god. But yes, bathhouse. Because I believe we do still have some time if this took like an hour or two, maybe.
Yeah, you still would probably have a couple hours. So, you go find a bathhouse in the city. What are you looking for? Are you looking for like the big, like fancy ones or something more affordable?
I feel like Faith would not like the non-fancy one, so that one it is.
Okay.
Wait, what?
The fancy one.
Oh, okay.
So, keeping in sort of this upper area of the city, you managed to find a nice bathhouse. It's not as nice as the one in Pale Hill. Pale Hill had like a very nice sort of like stone and marble design going on. Whereas there's less of that here. But it is quite finely decorated with the sort of like worm gold accents to everything. And it's relatively busy, especially with it getting towards like the afternoon. People who say have finished work early might head there before they head home. It's getting to be a bit busy. Probably not peak hours, but you know.
I follow.
Okay. I assume you're just gonna bathe there, have a nice bath. Tommy is muted.
Yeah.
He's the one who suggested this.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. I fucking keep muting. Look, I got snacks. Okay, they're important.
Mm-hmm. The fuck? Sorry, a light just turned on through the window, and it is like pointed directly at me. I'll have to close my curtain.
It's
The
a firework
neighbours are like,
outside. It's looking for you.
oh,
Fucking
the
like,
neighbours are like,
spotlight
"They're
just
playing
shone
those
on me. I was like,
tunes."
the hell?
Like, oh my god, is that lady playing D&D?
But yes, it just to get clean, maybe like a massage if Faith or Clue want it. But I'm just looking for a bath.
if we're getting in the water, I will have to ask my little companion if that's okay.
Yeah, it's waterproof.
I mean, you don't know. Maybe
It doesn't
LJ
just
really loves the
self-destruct
water.
in contact with the water.
I've been told that it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's common sense to
Nothing
you,
but a
apparently.
gauntlet.
Basically, you certainly get a few odd looks from people around as you walk in with this big clawed gauntlet. But yeah,
Again,
Just to
scraping
offer
the
anyone a
ground.
massage.
it does, like, as it touches the water, it sort of bubbles up almost into like steam for a second, seemingly boiling the water around it, just for like a second or two as it touches the water, where it sort of chills out.
Like, Clue, is your gauntlet happy about being wet?
Can I ask them?
I guess so.
Okay. I'll look at the gauntlet, I guess. I'm gonna think very hard about asking it the question.
See, here's the thing, is every time we've had a conversation with this gauntlet, we've gone into a private call, so no one else here has heard the gauntlet. Like, but now you're asking it such a mundane thing, it's like, there's no point dragging you into a call for it.
Yeah, I know.
Ah, gods. Fine. Let me just think about how it would work. What are you saying to it?
I'm gonna like put it underwater and be like, "Is this okay?"
Oh god.
I have bathed
you
in the
like that?
rivers of the 9 hells. I have bathed in the blood of demons. Think this water scares me?
Yes.
It does not.
And that's when you're supposed to get
Okay.
the perfume and sprinkle it on the gauntlet and be like, no, this might.
See, I imagine my Clue being like, you know, the kids who like play with toys in water, and they dunk it in water, and Clue just goes with a gauntlet, dunk, 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 dunk. Just keeps dunking it underwater. Do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this?
Why are you drowning yourself? Why are you drowning yourself?
I don't need to breathe, idiot.
I'm gonna be like, do you like it?
I've had warmer.
Do you prefer warmer?
Usually.
Huh. Okay. I'm gonna look at the face like, maybe warmer.
No, well, we can always go to the warmer section. Like, the hot water comes in over there, so the closer you get to it, the warmer it'll be.
Okay. Scuttle over there.
Got all.
Yeah, trying not to
Perfect.
sink too much.
Okay. You go over to the warmer section of it.
Yeah.
It still does not compare to the kind of flames that your gauntlet could emit. Though it does not in this moment.
Is it like the warmest section?
Yeah, it's as hot as it goes. They don't scald people here. Like, oh yeah, let me just go to the part that burns my skin off, you know?
This better?
Just finish bathing.
You sit there.
Ah. Is there anything else you want to do while you're bathing or afterwards or anything?
Just because I think it's funny, I'm gonna be like, because Faith has seen Clue talking to the Gauntlet, she just thinks that Clue's like treating it like an imaginary friend. So when they're finishing up the bath and they're drying off, then Faith's gonna like pat the Gauntlet down and like sprinkle some perfume on it. And just try and make her friend nice.
It
Oh my
sort of, as you touch it, it flares up a little. Not enough to burn you, but you see that glow begin to emanate from between the like chinks in the armor.
The demon's becoming angry.
Did it
Okay,
say
maybe-
something?
It didn't
Maybe,
say
maybe
anything.
not the rose water. Maybe use the lilac instead.
I'm gonna look at Faye and be like, yay! And hug her.
We should probably sort out the carriage.
Yes, that would probably be a good idea. In hindsight, we probably should have done that before we went bathing, but it is what it is.
Nonsense.
Okay. I mean, you're basically told that there's effectively a taxi service in town, of like carriages that you can usually identify. And you see a few around, find one that's parked up. In the driver's seat, currently just sitting there as it's parked, is this sort of, he looks like an older man. He has that sort of, you know, like the paintbrush mustache, slightly graying, his hair like thinning a little, but still, he still has a head of hair.
Oh no, it's the classic taxi driver.
Honestly, I'm thinking of, what are they called? Those brothers that are like, to meet the you.
Oh,
But
the
you'll
Chuckle
know.
Brothers.
Yeah, Chuckle Brothers.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
imagining like one of them.
Oh no.
Ah. But yeah, he kind of leans out the window and it's like, oh yeah, need anything?
We need to rent a carriage, just for a couple of hours. We have, and this is gonna sound weird, we need to take our friend's body to the university. Is that something you're comfortable with?
Well, if she fits in the back, then why not?
Oh no.
Can I just take a look at the back?
Yeah. So
I don't, you know, I don't want to have to like squish her in the, you know, I just want to make sure everything's gonna be fine. You know, I don't want to make this more awkward than it absolutely
the
has to be.
situation in the back is it's kind of a 4-person carriage. There's like the seats like facing forwards at the back and then seats just in front of those facing backwards, and you would fit like 2 people on either side sitting. If you're gonna layer down on a seat, then you'll have to squeeze 3 people sitting on the other side probably. You could maybe like lay her body in your lap, but that's a little morbid.
I'm sure like Clue can sit on Faith's lap or Zalil's.
I thought you were gonna say, I'm sure Clue could sit on the floor.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
not even
you
on the
could,
seat,
you could
just on
probably
the-
fit it with Clue on your lap.
Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like it'll be big enough for our needs. How much to rent you for a few hours?
Few hours.
Well, we need to move her so that we get to the university after 5 o'clock.
Tell you what, if you don't need me now, I can come pick you up later and take you where you need to go. How's that sound?
Okay, that sounds brilliant. I mean, if you could meet us at the church, and she'll indicate the one that they left Tori's body at. And then she'll look over at Zalil, because as soon as we start talking about time, he's desperate to do this. How long do we have, Zalil?
I check my watch because I don't know what time it is.
I'd say about 4:30. You're told to come
Okay.
after 5. You should probably
Yeah,
give some
yeah.
amount of time for people to leave.
Yeah, so...
About an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we say at the church at around 6 o'clock-ish?
Right, I can do that.
Okay. Then we shall see you at 6 o'clock.
Hopefully.
Alright, then, see you then. Okay.
Then if there is nothing else, I think we need to go to the church and I guess wait for the carriage and get her body.
Or we can just time skip if you want. So I don't think there's much to do in the meantime.
Yeah.
Let's build up an underground gambling ring in the meantime. How does that sound?
If you want to.
No, I'm not going to. It's just like the first thing that came
I am
to mind.
hoping to get TK in here sometime today.
It's like, let's go to the church and start gambling. It's like, wait, no.
Let's go.
Let's. Can I? No. I was gonna say,
Let's-
can
let's-
I convince one of the priests to start up a
God,
gambling
no.
ring? But
No.
probably not the best idea.
Are there claw machines?
No, believe it or not, no one's invented the technology for claw machines
No,
yet.
we just
just
dangle
a lot
Clue
of
over a
gacha.
ball pit and see what
Her
she grabs.
gauntlet is the claw. Just
Oh no.
hey, it can even let go randomly.
It's like the one ring that just
I'm
falls off
afraid
for no reason.
the little lamb plushie may get you a little bit jarred, but
Aw.
it's still
No,
good.
my
it's still
lamb plushie.
No.
good.
Is the lamb plushie okay?
The lamb plushie's fine.
You weren't
For
worried about the lamb,
now.
you were worried about the plushie.
But is lamb okay?
It's the plushie.
But yeah, we can skip forwards. Since she's only been there for a day, you can probably get some of your money back. You paid, I believe, 10 gold.
Faith wouldn't want to take the money back.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna.
I was
take the
gonna
money.
say you'd only get like a partial refund anyway.
Like as much as Zalil and I probably would, Faith would not want to take the money back.
I'm gonna take the money.
It wasn't like I gave the money, not you.
Yeah, but I was there. So I'm picking up the money instead. You can pick up the money. I pick up the money. We divide the.
I don't know. I don't think Faith would be comfortable with that.
Why?
Well, because it was a donation to a religious area, like group. Like,
Counterpoint: Zalil likes money.
Zalil's got plenty of money.
I only have 500,000 gold coins. Not
I
half a
think-
thousand.
I think in
250,000 gold coins.
In this particular instance, I'm pretty certain Faith would put her foot down and just be like, "No, the money stays."
Fine.
Okie dokie.
It's like two people fighting who pays the bill.
It's the reverse. It's two people fighting over whether they get the bill refunded.
It's like, do
The
we leave a
question is
tip or
now-
not?
The question now is: does Zalil just go and try and steal it
God.
without Faith knowing? No, I'm not gonna do that. But it would be funny.
I mean, Zalil's solo adventures worked out so well in the past.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, getting absolutely none of your money back. You take her body out. and get picked up by the cab driver. He takes you back over to the academy. The word kind of
University.
slipped my mind there. To the academy. I assume you have like a sheet or something wrapped around it. You're not just gonna like carry the corpse out in the open.
Oh yeah, no. We're not just gonna like parade the body around.
Of course.
Like this like Faith's gonna
Was it-
try and do it with as much dignity as possible.
Wasn't
Okay.
it already wrapped in sheet though when
It was.
Faith-
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, because of the spell that keeps it. I was gonna call it keeps it fresh, but that does not sound quite right. Keeps it from decaying. That's a
Yeah.
better way
With
to
7
word
herbs and spices.
it.
Oh no.
Oh my
God.
god.
Anyway, implied cannibalism aside, the cab driver drops you off and is like, "Have a good one," and drives away. And you head inside to find that Darian LaRoche is waiting you in the reception. Why are so many words slipping my mind now? In the reception area, so as to not have to go through all the questioning of the receptionist. He seems to have filled the receptionist in that he's at least that you're at least bringing something. Whether she knows it's a body or not, who knows? But he escorts you upstairs, and it does seem much quieter. There is 1 or 2 people still kind of leaving a little late, but he kind of manages to scoot you by them, and upstairs, up that dreadful elevator.
Oh come on, the elevator's awesome.
Yeah,
As long as
Yeah,
you only need to use it once in a blue moon.
exactly.
If you had to deal with it daily, it would drive you insane.
You head into his office, and he unlocks the door, kind of fumbling with the keys a little. And you see, like, one of the cats in there attempts to sort of, like, scoot its way out the door, and he kind of has to, like, put his foot in the way a little, and like,
Oh.
here's the part where I have to remember all the cat names. I know I had them written down. Where are they?
One of them was
Where are
Chonker.
they? There it is.
I believe.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
yeah.
one of them was
Cinnamon, Snowball, Ashes, and Chunkers. So Darian kind of puts his foot in the way, stopping it getting out the door, and is like, "Come now, Chunkers, behave."
Oh, Chonkers would be the one that tries to run away.
Wait, is Chunkers the orange one?
There's sort of 2 orangey ones. Cinnamon
them
was the
is
orange
cinnamon,
one
I
you
guess.
met. Chunkers is the other orange one. It's pretty chunky, as the name suggests.
Is he a hecking
love him.
chonker or just a chonker?
He's chunky.
Can I pet Chunkers?
He gets
Oh,
to
God, no, not with the
inside and
gauntlet.
closes the door after you, so the cats can't escape. And you can
Uh-huh.
see, Snowball is kind of just like staring at you ominously, before kind of like seeing like Darian is chill with you all, and it goes off and lays down somewhere and sort of stretches out. Meanwhile,
The cat.
Ashes is just perched on top of the bookshelves, looking down at you, just like investigating. You can see it. It's got like the sort of slit pupils as it's just like looking. Good to see you all again. I suppose we should get underway. He sort of has you lay Tori down to the side for now. And it's like, the preparations will take a short while. I need to prepare the circle and much of the ritual. For now, make yourselves comfortable. I'll call you over when preparations are ready. He begins sort of drawing out this circle in the center of the room, where some furniture is being cleared out. It takes this form of like an outer circle, then an inner circle, and then almost like a yin-yang type division, of like drawing that inner circle in two, with this curved line, with a number of circles. If you would like to, you're welcome to give me like an Arcana or Religion check.
Honestly, I didn't think I could.
I mean, my religion is not fantastic.
You're literally a paladin.
Yeah, but it's +2 because I've only got like I don't have a great, because I think religion runs off of int, so it's actually -1 and
That's
then
weird. I'd expect it to be
proficiency.
wisdom.
Yeah, you'd think, but I think it's intelligence. Yeah, it's based off of int. So 13.
13. You're not intimately familiar with this kind of magic. And besides the obvious symbolism that it may represent the gods of duality being the gods of life and death, you don't really know much else about what he's doing. He does prepare a number of herbs and whatnot, and checks through his book.
Can Faith ask if putting the statue of Sune down would have any impact?
This particular magic is invoking the forces of life and death. I don't believe it's a particular domain, but, well, there's no harm in it. If it makes you feel more comfortable, go ahead.
And Faith will set the statue that she got earlier up so that it's watching over the circle.
Okie dokie. After...
Tori,
Go ahead.
Tori still has like the pendant.
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I also do like an Arcana check real quick? I forgot I was muted.
Sure.
That's a 7. I don't know anything.
Yeah, you're not very familiar with magic, and if Faith isn't familiar with this kind, then you certainly aren't. Just making notes, 1 second. Okay, as he finishes preparations, he calls you over. Should actually have swapped the music to this one. It's in an academy. He calls you over, and tells you to essentially gently lay down Tori's body in the center of the circle. He unravels the sort of blankets wrapped around her and slides them out from under her, laying her sort of laid with her arms sort of crossed over her chest, legs together, just sort of laid out like a plank in this this circle. Where's the cat? Oh, there's several cats, and they're all over watching this all go down.
I assume he means LJ, but...
LJ. You tell me. You guys are taking care of LJ.
I mean,
Oh, he's
last
with
time we
us.
had this discussion, I assumed LJ was with Clue, and then you all went, no, LJ's with Faith. I was like, oh, okay. So I guess Faith's holding LJ?
Okay. I will say that LJ has a level of curiousness and concern in his eyes as he's watching this go on. And he's sort of like pulsing between like vibrating and not vibrating, even as you hold him. As like concern rises and falls as Darian does various different things.
I mean, Faith's doing her best to keep LJ cool, like calm, petting him, stroking, making sure he's not freaking out too much.
You know what? Give me an animal handling check for the funsies.
Oh no.
She's
ooh,
no clip
okay,
into
that's
reality
good.
again.
I mean, I only get a +1, but I actually got 17 plus 1.
Okay, you, despite his nervousness, you managed to keep him, kind of gently held and not freaking out too much. You keep him, like, as calm as you could keep a cat at the vet, essentially, like before it goes in, you know, when you're sat in the waiting room. It's a similar level of like apprehension. As preparations have been made and Tori is laid out, he kind of gives you all a reminder. I will begin casting the spell soon. You will have your cue to attempt to reach out to her and say whatever words you think might entice her into returning. Speak from the heart and just be honest and tell her how much you miss her, how much you want her back, what her loss means to you. And hopefully everything will go smoothly. And he kind of flicks through the book nervously a little. As he begins to cast, there's essentially two different spells. The first is this protective circle that begins to glow as he says a few words. And you see very gentle wisps of a bluish magical energy sort of rising from it. Only a few like inches off the floor. And it's very gentle. You get the sense it's not the strongest magic. But it is just there as a safeguard, just in case. He holds out the diamond and begins saying the incantation for raised dead. And as he does so, you see like his eyes begin to glow a similar bluish, and you can see a similar magic sort of circling around his hand and up to the diamond, and it's almost like tiny little fireflies or like ghost orbs, you know, tiny little beads of light just coming from this diamond, floating and then disappearing into the air around it.
Gorb.
Gorb. As he holds it out over the circle. And sort of gestures for you all to keep not a large distance, but just out of the circle. As he is standing on the outside of it, just reaching a hand over the circle, and doing his best like not to step in it. You gather you probably shouldn't either. As time goes by, he continues this incantation, and there's a level of concentration as he is attempting to read with all the bravado that comes with casting a spell and attempting to make sure he's getting everything right, checking the book before he says each passage, to ensure he doesn't make any mistakes. There is a studiousness to the way that he casts this spell that you wouldn't necessarily expect from a cleric, but as he is not a cleric, he is a professor. He comes at this from a very different angle, and as it progresses, this diamond that he's holding begins to sort of lift from his hand and float in the center of the circle. And he retracts his hand back slowly, cautiously to make sure it doesn't drop or anything. And once he sees that it's stable, puts his hand down and continues the incantation. There is odd sort of wisps of energy from both the circle and this diamond that begin to flare up more than you're perhaps expecting. And as it does so, you see there is a look of concern on his face. He doesn't stop chanting to say anything to you, but he looks a little concerned, but nonetheless keeps powering through this spell. But as things seem like they're progressing, you watch as this weird, almost like Aurora Borealis type effect begins emanating from the diamond and rising up. And surrounding you, like encircling the room. And he kind of looks around the room more nervously. Like, he kind of looks to you, Faith, and gives you a look of like, shit, you know? Like, this is not going very well. I'm gonna change the music here. Um, as this Aurora Borealis type effect begins to spiral and swirl, and they begin to coalesce into forms that just vaguely resemble humanoids. Just, they're sort of like shifting in and out, and like they can't quite hold the form. They are ethereal, but ever present. And he kind of, as he finishes a passage and has a moment to take a breath, a moment of pause, looks to you again, and is like, something is wrong. And you see that these numerous forms begin sort of jittering a little bit as they slowly come towards you. And we are going to roll initiative, but this is not necessarily your standard combat. So if you could give me initiative rolls, please.
Alright, 1 sec.
Ooh, 23.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a 19 plus 4, so...
If you could write them in the Discord, that would be lovely.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh my god, I have +4 initiative? Jesus.
It's initiative based on dexterity. Why do you have a lot of dexterity?
She's a barbarian. Don't you get a bonus to initiative?
Oh, that might be why, yeah.
Just seeing that from TK's account, it's very confusing there for a second.
Yeah. I was like, wait, why is TK rolling?
16, Faith with a 5. I will not be rolling for Darian because his entire role in this is to continue casting the spell. And I am not going to roll for the ghosts, as this is not going to be a standard combat affair. Essentially, I'm going to show you the map. Here we go. And I will share it on Discord.
Okay.
This one.
Circle. I've seen this before.
You were there while I was making it.
Yeah.
Ignore this point. This is for copying and pasting. I'm gonna just shift them over there. So, as these figures begin to coalesce, we are going to run this a little strangely. So, your goal is not to slay each of these spirits, it is to hold them off until the casting is done. Now, this casting typically takes an hour, but taking into account the preparations and the amount of time he's already spent casting, I'm going to say that it is going to be a few rounds, well, maybe more than a few, a handful of rounds, and I'm going to essentially give you an option. On your turns, one of you each round is able to spend your action to attempt to reach out to Tori. Only one of you per round, so if one of you does it, the other will have to wait until the next round. It will cost your action to do, and the fight will not end until each of you has done it once. So it is going to be a minimum of 3 rounds.
Okay.
Your goal is to prevent the spirits from breaking through the barrier of this circle and getting to Tori, essentially, as these waylaying spirits begin to sort of sense the presence of this magic and this empty vessel that they could possibly have their return to the mortal plane through. Why is my tracking being weird? They are going to attempt to possess her and take the body for themselves. So,
I have a question.
what is your question?
I do still have the Lantern of Trapped Souls.
You do.
Yes. Given that it's basically, I'm walking around with something that is, probably not in the best interest of these ghosts, or
Mhm.
I guess souls, would they be scared of that?
I have taken this into account when I planned this encounter.
Okay.
You will see.
Okay, cool.
So,
Interesting.
how do we like prevent them from getting closer?
That is up to you. Essentially, if you have any spells, like any channel divinities that you think will work, bearing in mind Bless didn't work earlier, if you have any lanterns of trapped souls, if you have anything at all, any magical weapons, your goal is to prevent them reaching her. The means are up to you.
Well, I
This is
face
interesting.
channel divinity wouldn't work anyway because it only works on Fey or Fiend.
Fair enough. But let's begin, shall we? So, Tommy, I believe it's you're up first.
Yes. Issue is I need some time to think about what I'm gonna say. So
Well, you don't
what I'm
have to
gonna
do it on your first turn. You can let someone else.
yeah. It's just I physically need some time to figure out what I'm gonna say. So I'm probably just gonna run at the guy to the bottom left.
Okie
With a lantern of trap souls in hand,
This guy?
and yeah,
Sure
and
thing.
sort of swing it in front of his face.
So as you swing at this this waylaid spirit, it sort of flickers and shifts in and out. It is weirdly ethereal in a way that the other ghosts you have seen aren't. You get the sense that it is both here and not here, more so than any other ghost. It is sort of like barely reaching out through the spiritual plane to the mortal plane. It doesn't seem to like it, and it is going to, as it can move freely through objects, attempt to move away from you. Also, I should probably add a light. What is the radius of your lantern again? Dim light to 25 feet,
Yeah.
plus 5 feet, so 30 feet. Okay, let me just add a light in here. Light tool. Yep, that one will do. Let's make it green. Not 30 feet, that's a little too intense. There. Is that... Actually, can I get like a circle? Okay, I cannot get like a measured circle, so that's the best we have. So that's like 5, 10, 15, 20... Okay. There we go. So he is going to sort of just shift through the bookshelf, which would cast a shadow, this light. As I've put them on separate layers, it's not doing that, but that's fine, just ignore that.
Yeah, that's fine. And I assume that's just gonna be the end of my turn, because can't really do anything else.
Yeah, unless you want to do anything with a bonus action.
I can move some more, can't
Or
I?
move, yep.
Yeah, can I move one square to the top right of me? Like, essentially below Tori.
Okay, let me just gonna check that. Below Tori to there or there?
That square, yeah, the middle one.
Okie dokie. And as you move closer, this one also kind of backs away a little.
Yes, and that shall be the end of my turn.
Okay. Clue, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
It is my turn.
It is your turn.
I'm kind of worried about the one that's like close to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't cross the circle, right? That's not
You
something I
can't
can
go through the circle. You can go around it.
do. I think I'm just gonna go like between Faith's legs and just
Okay.
jump at this other one.
So it would be pretty hard to like go here without stepping in it. But if you went in either
No,
of
like the
these
one that's like
squares, you would end up in
the one's
range
like
of that.
directly up. So like,
Just want to go for that one?
yeah, just jump at it.
Okie dokie. Go
Like,
ahead
stretch
and
it.
give me an attack.
Do I have to roll to hit?
Yes.
Oh, I rolled a 19. But...
That certainly hits it.
Hang on. I need to roll again. I'm not used to weapons.
It should just be in your
D6.
inventory.
These things. Do I have proficiency with this?
Yes.
Okay. So I rolled a 5 plus 3, that's 8 plus strength, that is.
Wait, hang on. Are you doing the damage now?
Yeah,
You don't add proficiency to your damage. So it's 1d6 plus your strength. And then another 1d6
done.
fire. It's okay, you can click on the gauntlet and see the attack section.
okay. So I rolled 8 for the first attack. You roll a 5 plus 3 strength.
Okie dokie. I will tell you that dispels this one. And you watch as you swing through it, and your gauntlet flares up. Yet it just kind of fades.
You see how Clue like expected to hit something, so it goes like what?
Yeah, it's just like swinging through air.
I guess that's gonna be it then.
Okie dokie, you don't wanna move anymore or anything?
I guess I could go. Well, I do have enough to go for the one on the right.
I think
Right.
you have 40 feet, don't you?
Yeah, you should set out the rest of your moves. So if you wanted to, I suppose you could go for the one on the left that you were worried about.
Yeah, you've moved
That is
10
true.
feet, so you'd have another 30 feet.
Yeah, let's do
And
that.
Okie dokie.
Did that count as an attack?
It did.
I guess so. Yeah.
Do you have a second attack?
I
do.
think you do.
Hmm.
Barbarian
I
just
will
gets
attack
extra attack.
twice each action, but like I don't know if I just don't do it like straight up, it just doesn't count.
No, you get 2 attacks.
No, you.
It says you can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. So you get 2 attacks.
Okay. So I'll roll again. Okay, I rolled a 6 plus.
It's plus 6 to hit.
Yeah. I think it's 6 plus 6, so 12.
Yep. Blah, 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 blah. That does in fact hit. It's Waylaid Spirit.
Oh, I rolled a 6.
Cool.
So 6 is 3, 9.
Once again, you swipe through this, and it's like cutting through smoke. It just fades and disappears.
I'm still not used to it. Like, not sure what happened.
You still have your bonus action. If you wanted to use it to rage or anything, you can.
Nah, it
Okay.
won't. I'll leave it there.
Understandable. So next up, Faith, it is your turn.
Okay, so. Can you move me 1 space up? And then I'll stay there. And then I will appeal to Tori.
Okay, what do you say?
So, Faith's gonna glance at the statue of Sune that they set up, and then she's gonna look at Tori. And then take a deep, shuddering breath and then say, Tori, I swore to protect you and I failed. And I'm never gonna forgive myself for that. I don't know if I deserve to serve Suni anymore, but I'm gonna do everything I can to make things right. The world is still in danger. The promise you made to Lady Fear to fight this evil still stands. The world needs you. Lady Fear needs you. I need you. Please, don't leave us. Don't leave me.
Amazing. I'm afraid I only got half of that written down. Did you have it written? Can you write it in the Discord for me?
Yeah,
I would
I got it.
greatly appreciate that. Thank you. That was very good.
I will also say, unfortunately, an ad played on stream, at least for me. Some others.
Timing!
Amazing. We love Twitch for that, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Faith. And that is your action. You still have a bonus action.
Just thinking, what can I... Because as a paladin, I don't really have very many bonus actions. Yeah, no, I will do nothing with the bonus action.
Okay, fair enough. So,
I mean, all I can really do is cast a spell, and I don't want to teleport, and I don't even know if my spells will work at the moment, so... Yeah.
as this turn ends, Darian continues chanting this incantation, and a number of other waylaid spirits begin to sort of appear as this aurora continues to emanate from the diamond. And I'm just gonna stick them in a few different places. There we go. This first turn ends. You can see that the diamond is glowing brightly, as is the circle. And Zulil, we are coming back to you.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
I have like a rough idea of what I'm gonna say. I don't have it written down. So if you want me to write it down beforehand, I might have to skip another turn.
I can attempt to make note, but if it's as long as Vise, I'm gonna struggle to get it all down. But it would certainly be easier if you can write something.
I mean, I did spend the last 2 weeks thinking of something. I assume Tommy's thinking of it right now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
Also, Clue,
the
this
issue
is your time to think of what you want to say and see if you can write it out.
The issue is, when it comes to me, I can't write things beforehand because I'm just not in the moment, so I don't know what I would do.
That's fair. And remember,
And
it doesn't
I'm
have
just,
to be
like,
like
kinda stuck,
incredibly grand. It just speak from the heart, you know. Just something you think would help her.
Yeah. Like I said, I have a rough idea, and I've had that idea before as well. I just don't really know how to
Okay.
formulate
If
it
you
properly.
want to, we can go to Clue and then Faith and come back to you at the end of the round.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So Zulila's locked in that he is going to be the one to talk for this round. Clue.
Okay.
what
So I
do
don't
you
have to
do?
talk. Alright. Just gonna look at the gun and go like, are you the one doing this?
This is nothing to do with me.
Well, that's a relief. He's gonna go up and like slash that one.
Okie dokie.
Let me roll. Oh my god, natural one.
You sort of swing your gauntlet at it, and as it is sort of shifting supernaturally and in this odd way, it just sort of flicks out the way of your hand. And it's already hard to tell if you're hitting them, given like there's no impact. But this one just, you swing at it, it moves slightly, does not disappear. And you're left kind of equally confused.
Well, I have a second attack.
You do?
That's another natural one.
What?
Oh wait, no, that's an 11. Never mind. There's a duck in the way. I couldn't say the other one.
That is significantly better. What's the total?
I think it's +6, so 17.
Yes, 17, that hits. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
I rolled 4 + 3, 7.
7. Okay. As you sort of slash again at this, not sure if you even hit it the first time. Just, like weird ribbons of like it's hard to describe. It's like gas and smoke, but as you cut through it slices into slight sort of ribbons of similar like aurora borealis light that just sort of slowly go floating and fading out into the rest of it as this display continues above you and it goes back to merge with it. You certainly get the sense that you're not killing these spirits as much as just dispelling them, casting them back to where they've come from.
Mm.
Is there anything else you want to do?
I can't do much.
Not really, no. You still have some movement.
I'll go back to the like 15 feet down.
5, 10, 15 there.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Draw your turn longer. I need to write.
So, Faith. It's on you now.
How big are each of these squares? They're 5 foot, right?
Yeah, each one's 5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupid.
I'm gonna assume the ghosts don't need to go through doors.
They do not. They can move
No.
through anything.
Yeah.
Or at least any solid mundane object.
Then Faith is going to attempt to cast Moonbeam.
Okay, interesting. I like that spell. That spell has a very special interaction with shapeshifters that I really like.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it do?
So essentially, not relevant to this fight, but any shapeshifter has to make a save against it, or they revert to their original form, and I believe they can't shapeshift again until they leave the area. So it can reveal like changelings and doppelgangers and all sorts of things. It's very cool.
Until it leaves the spell's light, so it's not just the radius of the thing. It's
I believe the spell's light is like just a beam that comes down like a column of light. So it would be the range of it.
I think but yeah, she'd like to try and cast it on the ghosty that's just 2 up and 1 to the right of her.
Yep, that point.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
So it's a 5 foot radius, 40 foot high cylinder, and then.
Or I see if I have any circle that I can use for this. Maybe if I dye this, white's kind of blending in. Let me do a slightly silverish light. And make that ever so slightly bigger. There we go. Oop. So we'll say that's it, because you're allowed to shift it around on your turns. It lasts a while.
Yeah. So it's concentration for up to a minute. So basically for a combat, depending on how long it goes on for, and then whenever a creature enters the spell area or it starts its turn in, it has to do a Constitution saving throw, or it takes 2d10 radiant damage, and on a failed save, it takes half as much.
Okay, so
And then
that's
on my
on
turn, I
it.
can use an action to move it. Yeah.
Okay. So is that everything for you?
Yeah, I mean, I can't cast a spell as a bonus action because I've cast a spell, so I will stay where I am guarding this corner.
Okie dokie. Zulil, have you finished figuring out what you're gonna say?
Not yet.
Not
Oh,
yet?
Shh, shh, shh. Not,
Oh,
not,
no.
not quite. I'm literally
Okay.
doing the last
I
sentence.
can
It's like 3
Take the
sentences long.
spirit's
Gonna be
turn
your
if you
turn
want.
again.
I can do the spirit's turn before you.
It probably makes more sense. Like if I can just like if I'm not losing my entire turn, but it's just like put down to the end.
Yeah, you're
I'd
not
be
gonna
fine with
lose
that.
your turn.
Simply,
You can just
yeah,
put them
simply
in
because
order.
I just need the IRL time to figure out how to ride it and stuff.
No problem.
Like that's totally fine.
Okay,
It's just like I need the IRL time.
so first of all, was it a Constitution saving throw for this
It's
spirit?
yeah, Constitution save.
Okie dokie. Well, that was a 5.
Okay.
How much damage?
It's 2d10 radiant damage. So do you want me to roll it, or do
Yep,
you want to
go
roll
for it.
Okay. That would be 12 radiant damage.
Okay. So as this beam of light comes down, just weirdly enough, it can emanate even from the ceiling, even indoors. Just this sort of spotlight of silvery moonlight down on it. And not only is that more than enough to dispel this one, also radiant, which is vulnerable to. So you watch as there is a morose look in its eyes, and then it sort of flicks, and it's less like it moves and more like its shape almost changes to like be looking up at the where the beam is coming from before it fades out, and that sort of aurora borealis just spreads out from it and it disappears. And you watch as in unison each of these spirits begins to move closer. 5, 10, 15, 20. That one's going to go to there. 5, 10. That can't get inside. That's 5, 10, 15, 20. It can't quite get inside, but it's on the edge. And it's still within that, so no attack of opportunity. 5, 10. This one will be hard to get past you, so we'll say 15, 20, that's fine. There's no attack of opportunity because it's not leaving. 5, 10, 15, and 15, 5, 10, 15. And it can't move through its own kind. It can't end its turn in the same space as another creature. So it is going to go there. As none of them can pass the barrier, but you see a number of them kind of thrust their entire body into it, or what would be their body, their entire form kind of slamming against this wall, and then almost splashing against it in a weird, like, the same way that a gas is a fluid, they behave kind of like that, just like splashing and then rebounding off before fading back into their own sort of form. But you do see as this circle is hit by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different spirits. Each time it sort of flares up with light and afterwards gets a little bit dimmer. You get the sense that it won't last indefinitely. Tommy,
Huh? Yeah.
have you
I
figured
figured,
out?
don't worry. Yes. I have something written out.
Okay.
Definitely not gonna be the best here, but I
That's
mean,
fine.
you know, who's gonna beat Vi anyway? Am I right?
Bearing in mind, even Zulil is kind of thinking on his feet. So, go ahead.
Yes. Tori, I know we've not always been on the best terms, but I believe we did have quite a few moments of camaraderie together. Honestly, we've all been missing you. LJ and Faith, most of all. They're hanging in there for now, but I'm not sure how long we'll keep it together. We need you, and we're trying our best to get you back.
Okay.
Told you it wasn't going to be the best.
No, that's great. Thank you.
It was fine.
Thank you very much.
Also, I do have another question.
What's up?
Wouldn't they also be very much not want to be close to
I
me
know.
because it's okay? Sorry.
So, Darian continues casting this spell, and he is nervous as he kind of looks over his shoulder at these two spirits behind him. But you seem to be dispelling them, so he's putting his faith in you and entrusting you guys to deal with them. And thankfully, as much as he's concentrating on this one spell to bring her back, he doesn't have to concentrate on the circle. The circle is cast, like, just cast and then forget, you know? So he doesn't have to maintain concentration on two different things, which is impossible for most mages anyway. But yes, he steadfast attempts to continue. We are going back to the top of the round, which technically would have been Zulil's turn.
So it's again your turn, okay?
Yes.
At the start of your turn, we will say, as you are holding this lantern out, they will back off again a little. There are... technically, I would say there's no opportunity attack because it's forced movement.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I kind of want to smack the one to the right of me.
This one? Or the one closer?
The one, the top right one.
Top right, okay. You can go there, or where do you want to go?
That's fine. That
Okay.
works.
Sure thing.
And just smack it, which
Roll attack.
is a 10.
That does
Double
not
what I'm
hit
looking for.
as you swing for this. In a similar way to what happened with Clue earlier, its shifting form just sort of, funny enough, ghosts out the way. It just sort of shifts ethereally, and you just swing straight through, seemingly not connecting. Anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna move back to where I was standing before.
That will provoke an attack of opportunity from this boy.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Instantly dies.
Gets body
You're
taken over instead.
there, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. So I will roll an attack. Oh, I nearly rolled it off the freaking thing. That's another 5. Okay, that's fine. As it kind
That
of
doesn't hit.
moves in this very odd, shifting, slow way, it just kind of like it almost less looks like it's trying to attack you, and more just like it's reaching for you, like it just wants to hold you. And it, as you move away too fast for it, it just lowers its hand somberly.
Bro just wanted a hug.
They are sorrowful, waylaid spirits who have not been laid to rest. They do not hold malice, they just hold a yearning.
Aww.
And that is why this is not so much a fight in your standard sense. Just trying to keep them at bay and dispel them if you need to. So, Clue, back to you.
Yeah.
You're the last one who needs to say something. You would like to this
Yeah.
time.
I do have something, but it's really short.
That's okay. Doesn't need to be long.
Yeah, like, I don't know what else to say. Ask Clue,
That's fun. What have you got?
I guess I'm gonna look at Tori. I'm gonna, relax a little bit to talk to her. Alright, let me put it up. Gonna be like, everyone is sad now. Shiny person and the shaking cat and me. I want to look at the stars with you again and talk and think together. I was scared and angry and I wanted you to tell me a story, like you said. Didn't want to look at the ghosts that are surrounding this guy. I'm gonna go, we need help. You have to wake up.
Okay. You could just put that for me in the Discord. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Right. Well, thank you guys. And you see, as you say this, that amulet on her, around her neck, begins to kind of rise gently from her chest. Similar to how it once guided you to Lamb, it now floats gently again, slightly tugging at her. Almost as if it too is just trying to hug her back. We're gonna play out one more turn here. As you have all said your piece. Sorry, one more round. But Faith, it is your turn for this current round. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna swing at Ghosty below me.
Okay.
That would be a 16.
That certainly hits.
And 10 damage.
Okay. You swing at it, and as every other time, your sword just goes straight through, like swinging through air. But as you swing, you do notice there is a slight pinkish glimmer to your blade as you make this swing. Just slightly. It disappears. And you watch as that little bit of sort of pink spreads into that aurora as well as it disappears. And as the aurora circles above you, there are now just tiny little wisps of pink in it. You still have your moonbeam, by the way.
Yeah, it takes an entire action to move it, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I figured getting 2 attacks is probably more important at this point.
That's fine.
Can I move diagonally to the left up one?
There?
And then one more up.
Okay.
And it's directly above, yeah. And then throw my spear diagonally at those 2.
Okay, Chonkers just looks up at you from this little sort of astrolabe thing as you throw your spear at these 2. Straight towards like the bookshelf that Ashes is on. Go ahead and roll your attack for 2 of them.
Okay, so for the first one it's a 15.
Okay, that hits.
So that does 5 damage.
Okay.
And then second one. Oh, nice. 21.
Yep, for sure.
For 4 damage. The damage wasn't great, but
So-
the hit rolls were good.
This spear pierces through them, and again, it's like smoke as it just blows like a hole through the center of them, but the rest of their form kind of stays, and there's just like a trail of these wisps following the direction, the airflow from the spear, before it slowly begins to like fill itself back in. And Ashes over here just like jumps and like growls at you. Like that sort of cat shriek of surprise, like when you step on one. As Ashes also has like a very like, already were they concerned about this, but with all these spirits going around, they're just like darting their head around with like those really thin slit eyes looking at all these things happening.
Oh, kitty. I'll use my bonus action to summon the spear back, because I don't want to summon it back where it's going to hit someone.
Okay.
And then if I can use the rest of my move.
Well, hang on. It can also hit them on the way back, so.
Oh, they're still up. Okay.
They are, yes.
So let's see. The first one, 23. So that's for 8 damage.
Okay. Watch as you've thrown it through and it begins to sort of fill itself back in. You then return the spear to you, and it disappears with just like a poof.
The second one's 17.
Yep.
For 5 more damage.
That's enough total. So same with that one.
Okay. And then if I could move so that I am in the upper left-hand corner of the ghost that Zulil tried to stab.
Like there?
Yeah, I should have just enough, I think, to get there.
I'll trust you.
Okay. And then that'll be it from me.
Okay. Now, I assume you put LJ down for this. But LJ is going to take his chance to come running up towards the circle and begin sadly yowling at Tori's body.
Oh.
Just sort of like pawing at the ground and yowling. And there is like a moment where it's just LJ before all the cats in the room also just begin yowling. And there's just this cacophony of like meows and yowls coming from all around you. Just very sad kitties, as every other cat in this room can just feel the sorrow that LJ feels. And with that, the spirits make their final attempts to move closer, to reach out, push past this barrier. And you see as it's fading, it's already taken 5 different spirits attempting to damage it. 3 more attempt to just slam themselves against it. Actually, yeah, 3 more. That one couldn't quite get there. Just trying so desperately. They don't even care to attack the rest of you. They're just focused on one thing. Just trying to get back to life, to try and take this body. And as this circle flares up, 1, then 2, then 3, and then it kind of fades, and you see these spirits are beginning to reach out as each of them attempts to take hold. And it is at this moment the diamond just drops to her chest, landing on Tori's chest, before sort of not even crumbling as much as just fading into an ethereal mist as it is consumed by the spell. And there's a look of just genuine sorrow on the faces of each of these spirits, though the details can't really be made out in this very ethereal form. You can see enough to just see they are weeping as they slowly fade away, as the aurora circling above you also begins to fade. And the circle fades out and is no longer there. And that's where we're going to end this combat for now. I'll shift back to this for a moment, and I'm going to take it off this. Boop. How does it? There we go. It was delayed. So, we
I thought
are...
you were to say this is where we're gonna end it for today, and I was like, what the f-
Not the
why
session.
would you do this to us?
Not the session. We're going to end this combat here. And we are going to take a quick break. It's going to be our middle of the session break, everyone. And I would like kindly for TK to join us after the break. And I would like for the rest of you to kindly fuck off.
Fine, fine.
Okay.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Are we... Okay, yeah. I was
You're
gonna ask
welcome
how long
to
it
hang
should
out,
be, or...
watch stream and whatnot.
Okay, okay.
But just one-on-one with Tori, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's fine. I just wasn't sure if it's like one of those clue things where we're not really supposed to know what's going on.
You're
So-
welcome to see if you want to.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes. Hello again, everyone. I'm back, joined by the wonderful TK. It's good to have you
Hello.
back.
Thank you, it's good to be
It's
back.
been a while since you've been sat in that seat.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm not nervous at all. I definitely didn't feel any pressure from that.
Fine, I'm not nervous either, right?
Yeah, no, you've got this. You're fine. You got this.
So, we flash back. Hold on. I am so warm and my hair is sticking to me. There we go.
Nice.
As we flash back a few days, you're on the battlefield, and you remember fighting. You remember Agroth, that man with that gauntlet, erupting in flames. You remember seeing Clue and Faith trapped in a circle of fire. But you couldn't focus on that. You had cloaked rogue throwing daggers at you. A ranger had rooted you in place, these jagged thorns at your feet, and this fully armoured knight had come and taken swing after swing. You remember the pain. But there's something off. You feel distant. You look around. It's the battlefield, but it's frozen. Nobody is moving. There's still distant echoes of combat, shouting and swords clashing and fire raging. You can even see the fire on that granary. But the flames don't flicker. They're still. And just as strange, everything around you is kind of dark. You look up and you can't see the sky. And looking off between the trees surrounding this small little hamlet, there's nothing but fog. And it's almost like dust or snow. The only thing that moves is gently falling from seemingly nowhere. And it's so cold. You barely have the chance to get your bearings before you hear a strange bell, or maybe a wind chime, going from the distance. That fighter in all their armor is looming over you, sword raised above their head. They don't swing down at you. They're like a statue. You look around, and then you hear that bell again, slightly closer this time. Just echoing, reverberating. It feels closer, but the sound resonates in a way that feels distant. Like it's there and not there. You glance around, but you can't see where the spell is coming from until it rings a third time, right behind you. You turn around, and there is this unusual figure sat on a rock. This figure has long, flowing hair. It's sort of flows like a river, almost. Like it moves and you're not sure where it ends. And they're wrapped in all these sort of layers of robes and furs. But covering their face is this mask. It's almost blank, featureless, except for cutouts around the eyes, and this slight paint around it that looks almost fashioned in the way people do sort of a winged eyeliner, just surrounding the eyes. But from within those eyes, there is a dull bluish glow. It's not just a glow, it's almost like a flame. Not an aggressive one. It's hard to describe. It's more than a candle, but less than a torch, if that makes sense. Just
Okay.
from each of those empty sockets. And you're not sure when they got there, but there they sit. And they're looking right at you.
Okay, I'm gonna I'll keep my hand on like my weapon, maybe have a hand up, ready to do anything. Feeling the adrenaline and all the fear. I'm just gonna say, what's happening? Did you do this?
Okay. This is not of my doing. You are in a place beyond life, a preceding death, a realm of endings, a realm of transition. This realm is me, and now it hosts you.
I died?
You are as you have always been, as before birth, as after death. You have been this far longer than you have been not. That doesn't mean you haven't changed.
What about my friends?
They are safe. They await you back home.
See me like take a big release of breath, knowing they're safe. Okay, how do I get home to them?
That is up to you, and up to them. This place exists for enclosure and comfort, to help you move through this transition. It is your choice what you'll become at the end of it.
Okay, tell me what I need to do.
They kind of look down, and it's not even in the blink of an eye because you don't blink. They're just suddenly closer, in front of you. It's not like they teleported. You didn't see them disappear and reappear. They're just there. Like they transcend space or time or perception. They simply are. And they look at you in the eye. And they say, I can see that you have lived a life that is full of death. You've seen lives be snuffed out like candles. You have also been the one to extinguish them. And you watch as this battlefield is replaced, as the falling dust fades into falling snow. And you're suddenly in a familiar scene, much the same way you didn't see them approach you. You don't see this environment changing. It simply is. And what you now see around you, it's familiar. Quaint little village on the border between Thalas and Altmora in the mountains. This is home. Your home. You see, in what is certainly an odd experience, a young Tori. And you know when this is. You remember this. But you're not only looking at yourself, you're almost sharing your own senses. Like you can see from where you're standing, but you also hear and feel and smell as if you're this younger you that you're looking at. And the scene plays out. This is when you first had learned about your powers, or very soon after. You've been secretly practicing on the edge of the forest, just behind your house. Learning what you can, with no formal tutorage, no materials to learn from. All you had back then was your own practice, as all you've ever had. You're firing off these little blasts of frost. They're nowhere near as powerful as the ones you have now. It's just the beginning of trying to figure things out. Feeling that icy cold surge through your hand as the magic leaves you. And fires what at first is just a slight burst of frosted air and just... It's hard to describe. Just frost that dissipates into the air like steam almost. And you can see it, but you also don't. It's difficult. Two figures approach you, or younger you, from behind. You, overlooking the scene, know they're there, but feeling all the senses and emotions of your previous self, you don't notice them, and you feel a sense of surprise as they come out, your adoptive parents. They come out seemingly calling you for dinner, but seeing you cast the spell, they're shocked and afraid, and you don't notice them approaching. You don't stop in time. And as your mother reaches out and tries to touch you on the shoulder, you feel that surprise that came through you. And you turn around quickly and accidentally, completely out of your own control, an accident. You didn't mean to. Younger you fired off just a ray of frost. And with this shock and sudden flare of emotions, it fueled it more than the last couple you'd sent. It was more powerful than you'd realized. More powerful than you were trying to do. You didn't have control. And it just barely missed her. And you see that look, that damn look in her eyes. She's terrified.
I'm just gonna... Like, no, not again. Don't make me go through this again.
And the figure, they sit nearby, overlooking the scene.
I'm gonna look over to them and be like, why? What is the point of this?
They say to you, many who face death do so in fear, anger, sorrow. Souls bring regrets, clinging to them, unwilling to let go. I exist to ease your burden and help you be ready for what's to come.
How is this meant to ease my burden? I feel like my burden's growing.
You will understand in time.
Fine. I'll play your game. Tell me what I need to do. And I'm just gonna give like one last look at like Kid Tori.
This is no
and then
game.
turn around.
This is your
Sorry.
life, your memories. You don't need to do anything but reflect.
Alright.
And the scene fades, and another comes in. You're out in the woods, not far from your village, and there's a sinking feeling in your stomach. You recognize this day too. You're out foraging. A bit older, some years have gone by, quite a few. And as you pick berries and firewood and whatnot, you turn back, looking in the direction of home, and you see smoke rising up from above the trees. And there's almost two sets of emotion here. There's you now, knowing what this day is, what you're about to witness. And there's you at the time. That panic, that sense of unease, of uncertainty, not knowing what's about to happen, but afraid of the worst. You run straight towards home as fast as you can, trying to bound over logs and roots and between trees, dodging between them. It's slippery, and at one point you slip, landing in the snow, picking yourself back up as quick as you can, getting back on your feet and running until you come to the edge of the forest. And you see that dull orange glow. And you see your home burning.
I'm gonna reach out and try and grab younger me.
You reach out, you try to grab yourself, and you can't. It's like she's not even there. But she is there. She isn't. In much the same way everything else here has been this odd paradox of here and not here, so too is she. So too is the memory. You see yourself scrambling, trying to look to find anything, but the first thing you see is a note attached to the archway leading to the village, pinned to it. It's unfamiliar, unexpected. You look at it, and from this vantage point, you can't see what the note says. But as you share the senses with your previous self, you know what it said, and these words have never left you since this moment. The time for hiding is over. And younger you can't help but just break down, cry, and you feel the cold of the snow against your legs as you kneel there clutching this note. But there's also something different. Something you don't remember from the first time round. Something that you can only see from this new vantage point as you're overlooking the memory. You see a figure. There, just a silhouette through the flames. It's impossible to make out the details, but this silhouette is unique, recognizable almost. This odd figure clad in armor. You can see that they have this, is it a hat? Is it a strange helmet? With this round, wide brim going out well past the shoulders. And a cloak. Tattered and burning, singed. You can see they have this large crossbow slung over their shoulder as they walk somewhere between strolling and limping out of this fire. You don't recognize them. They're not someone from your village. You know that much. And they walk out of the village, out of the fire, and reach the edge of this memory where it fades into nothing but fog. And they too just disappear. A wisp of smoke.
I'm just gonna stare dumbfounded for a minute. I'm gonna turn and face the figure that's leading me through this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me who that was?
I cannot see any more than you can see. This is your memory. An echo of what once was.
So how come I only noticed him now?
You are gifted with new perspective. This was your first taste of death. How did it feel?
What do you mean, how did it feel? It was awful. I lost everything. And I was all alone for a long time.
It was the end of all you knew. But it also sparked the beginning. Something else. And the memory once again fades. Now, you sit in a tavern. Where you're approached by a cloaked elf, as well as a number of other folks sat around at other tables. This strange-looking elf with these greenish glowing hearts just barely hidden under his cloak. He asks for your help. And you made the decision to help him, to join up with these complete strangers who you've now become so familiar with. And this figure looks to you and says, "You began a new life here. Would you still make the same decision again, knowing all that came after?" Okay?
Did you not hear me?
I
Sorry.
did not, sorry.
I said, yeah. Yeah, I would.
Then perhaps that is enough. And the memory fades again, flashing forwards just a little. You're in a cave, surrounded by these blue glowing crystals. In a fight, battle. It's similar to the one in which you awoke in here. It feels different. You weren't used to combat back then. And while the fear never really goes away, you do start to get used to it to some extent. You can feel the fear in this fight. One of the first that you had ever had, where your life was truly on the line. Not just random wolves out in the wilderness, but other people who want to kill you. Likewise, you see your friends. You see as crystal goes flying through the air, impacting with a larger crystal. And you watch in slow motion as it detonates, and Zulil gets thrown to the side and recoils from the pain and the pressure of this impact. And you see as he is hurt. And immediately after, before he even has the chance to recover, a bolt, also in slow motion, just goes barely past your vision and impacts him into the shoulder. And he slumps to the ground, almost dying. You watch as a feral goblin cursed with undeath, in a stupor of mindless, almost rage, but not the rage you've seen from her other times, picks up a frozen rat and smacks the mare across the head as he is knocked to the ground. And you're just stood there. At least this version of you, as all this is going on. And this knight in shining armor, a paladin, who you've grown so fond of, fires a javelin over her shoulder and straight into the shoulder of another man, before walking up to him, ripping it out violently. and a figure is there, sitting on a crystal.
Watch out, they explode.
They give a soft and gentle chuckle that just echoes and reverbs around the environment. And they say to you, each life is like a candle. They have a finite amount of wax. They burn for a predetermined amount of time. But they can be extinguished early, much like yours. However, a candle that is not fully burned can be reignited.
Are you saying I'm not fully burned?
Your life has reached one conclusion. It is the end of one phase. But you still have wax left to burn.
I mean, I feel like I still have wax left to burn. I still have so much I have to do. I need my friend to help me. And I think they need me. Or at the very least, I want to try and help them.
There are many burdens in this world. Know that you can let them down if you so choose. Lay your burdens down and move on.
How could I do that?
Life beyond is not altogether unfamiliar to you. Holds no malice. You will feel no pain. Things that were once will wash away.
What about my friends? Will I see them again?
One day
If I move on?
you will see them again.
As they are now?
As they will
Or
be.
as something else?
Their lives will continue. They will grow. They will change. But they will never forget.
Well, I don't want them to never forget that time that I could have come back to help them and I decided to be a coward and not do that.
There is no cowardice in death. Death brings peace. Well deserved.
That
They will
doesn't sound like
understand.
peace to me.
Then
Even if they understand what...
Then perhaps you should look once more at what awaits. And the scene
Alright, show me.
changes once again. You are in a strange void, different to this one, surrounded by a garden with high stone walls, and on one side, the back face of a manor Faith is beside you, as is someone you came to trust. This is when you first met Lady Fia, and she wanted to test your mettle to see what you're worth, what you could do.
Ah,
And yet, it's also the day that you came face to face with an overwhelming force. And you watch as Faith's attempt to do anything to stop her is shrugged off as her armor appears, and in the blink of an eye, ice cold rapier is at your throat. And in that moment, you knew that if Fia had wanted to kill you, there is nothing that you could have done to stop her. And you feel that fear and terror, both for yourself and for Faith. As you cried out, you shouted for her to stop. You said you didn't want this. And Fia lowers her rapier. And the figure says to you, you will likely face equally powerful foes. Ones who will not hesitate to kill you. Ones who will not become your ally. And yet, Fia proved to be a powerful ally indeed.
I mean, I knew. We all knew. We all knew this is what we signed up for. I don't regret it.
Even
But
though
I feel like I
it
will
will
regret
not get
it.
easier,
When has anything ever been easy?
even knowing the terror that you will face.
I mean, do I have another choice apart from running away?
You always have a choice.
What about everyone else? Everyone who, if we fail, is going to suffer.
And you have come to the conclusion that their fate rests in your hand.
Kind of feels that way, you know?
Does not have to. This is a responsibility that you take on willingly.
You're right. And I do take it on willingly. I don't want to see any more suffering. I don't want anyone to go through what I went through.
And yet, no matter what, suffering is what you will see. And it changes once more. You're once again in the snow. It's a different place to before. You're staring into the ghastly face of the Banshee and the Ice Wraiths that you encountered before. They are twisted and in pain, and you can see their bodies like half buried next to their cart beneath the snow. Pardon me. Beneath the snow.
Yeah.
And spirits crave such vengeance and feel such pain and anger and suffering And this banshee lets out the most terrifying scream of pain and sorrow and anger. And you're once again stricken with the fear of death. As mere moments ago, only this time you look at something that has already suffered it. You look at what you could become. Suffering will continue, no matter which path you choose. You will come face to face with it many more times.
So, to live is to suffer.
To live is many things. You walk a difficult path. I offer you a choice to lay those burdens down.
But if I live, I have to suffer. But if I don't live, I don't get to laugh again. I don't get to feel joy again. I don't get to feel love again. Isn't it all about balance?
You will live, and you will laugh, and you will cry. You'll feel joy. You'll feel love. You will feel so many emotions. You'll feel warmth. Every story has so many twists and turns, so much nuance. Life is not one thing. Life is not suffering. Life is not pain. But they are unavoidable parts of life you lead.
I'm okay with that. And that's what I want. Just makes the good times better.
You speak of helping, of preventing the suffering of others. Have you always made the right choice? And the scene changes
no.
once more.
Oh god.
As you are as you're in a chilly, dark basement, and you see 6 distorted faces peering through the dark, through the gloom, their stretched mouths and hollow eye sockets, their long necks writhing around a central mass. You watch the fight ensue. You watch as Larry the Panther is bitten and thrown into the air and disappears. And sometime after a long, drawn-out battle, the false Hydra finally fell. And Patchwork, in a sobbing mess, is dragged upstairs to face the music. And he wants nothing more than to die and be with his child. And yet, Faith drives a sword through his throat. The guttural sounds of blood filling his airways rings out before he dies, with a look of acceptance in his eyes. But even in death, he was denied his last wish. His body was dragged outside to never be with his child again. His child was burned. And this figure will look at you and ask you, do you feel that this was the right decision? Was it justice? Mercy? Vengeance? What drove you in this moment?
Tori's just like, gonna need a minute.
That's okay.
That's a great question.
Take all the time you need to cultivate your answer, to reflect.
Could I ask you a question first?
Ask me whatever you wish.
Do you empathize with this creature?
They exist as the end of all things. I exist to ease the transition, whether it's the end of one phase and the beginning of the next. I am the last leaf of autumn, the glimmer of sunset, candle burning by a window. I am your final breath. I am a concept bound to form. I am the ending and the transition.
Do you have a name?
I have many.
Any I might have heard before?
All things that end. But your kind are so quaint. You call me kin.
Kin.
And if you'd like to, you can give me a religion check.
Sure.
Or history, either or, your choice.
I did not have my character sheet up. 1 second. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna quickly grab my brand new dice.
Okie dokie.
Alright, dice. Sorry, religion or
history.
yeah, they're both the same. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to roll my new dice.
Okay.
18. They're like circular and they're like not sitting right, so I'm like, rather than me going, that's cocked, that's cocked.
18, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember a story? A bedtime story. A tale for children. Of of kin, this god of endings. And it's a story of a young boy who would go to see a play every time it was on. And he loved this play. And every time, as the curtains fell and the actors took their bows, he would wish that it didn't have to end, that it could just go on forever. And one day, his wish was granted. As the curtain would normally fall, as the actors would normally take their bows, they didn't. The play continued. On and on and on. New acts. The story may have concluded, but just kept going. Into the next, into the next. The entire lives of these characters played out on a stage. And the boy watched and grew older. And yet, eventually, after such a long time, the curtains nonetheless began to close on the final act. And the old man cried out, the play was never supposed to end. And Ken appeared to him on the stage and told him that all things must end, and that he had spent so long denying the end that he never had a chance to live his own life. He wasted what time he had trying to fight off the end and expecting the play to last forever. And when the curtains fell, it was not for the play. It was for the old man. And you would also know that Kin is a lesser deity, an unusual one who has existed for as long as there have been endings, as long as there have been beginnings, and will continue to exist until the final ending, even after all the other gods meet their ends, after your world meets its end, after the very realms succumb to entropy, and they too find their ending. Kin will be there to see the end, see a new beginning. And finally, you would know that it is commonplace for people to reach out to Kin in times of need, times of change and ending, times of loss, times when no matter what kind of loss, whether it's a person, whether they have lost a friend, whether they have lost their job, whether anything they might have lost, anything that might have ended, they reach out to Kin for comfort. And at the end of the harvest season, as the last leaf of autumn falls, it's customary to lay out a candle by a windowsill and wait for it to burn out. And supposedly, that act represents Kin, as they too are the burning of the candle and its flame burning out on its own. To extinguish it early is to bring misfortune and hardship. To let it burn and go out on its own is to welcome their embrace, their comfort, and to hope, to pray for things to be better. You know that this figure is one of kindness, but is just as cruel as any ending, any grief, any loss.
Well, I've heard a lot of interesting stories about you over the years.
Many have. I have existed longer than all things.
You get lonely.
Always.
Why don't you come back with me?
If you return, I will be there, as I have always been there, and always will be.
You there for my friends too?
I am there for all things, and one day they too will meet me.
Well, I hope it's not any day soon.
As do I.
I'm glad you're on our side.
There are no sides.
Well, you don't want him dead, so that puts you on our side.
I will be their end, one day. Such is my nature.
Yeah.
Such is unchangeable.
I feel like it feels like it's right that you'll be there at the end. Just feels right. I just hope I'm not the reason they see you.
Many depend on you as much as they do me. And you see one more vision. You see... Sorry.
You're
You see, locked in a cage, a small black kitten with 6 legs and 2 tendrils, phasing in and out. So afraid, and strung up next to it. The pelt of its mother.
good. Yeah.
You can still smell its scent. Familiar, but changed. Scent of blood, scent of loss. And for the first time, you see Kin also interact with this memory in a way. It doesn't change it. She reaches out to pet LJ in his cage. She tells you, I was here for this one too. And she looks to
Does
the belt.
LJ react to the pat?
He doesn't. But unlike how your hand went straight through when you tried to interact with yourself, she seems able to touch LJ.
Okay.
And you see, after Kin lets go, the first time you took LJ out of the cage, the first time you held them, and then you see the future. Something you haven't seen yet. Something that isn't your memory. You see yourself lying there, cold and moving. And you see LJ pawing at you, refusing to eat, refusing to move, and you feel, this time not your own feelings, but LJ. You feel the sense of how LJ has lost 2 mothers now.
Oh.
And in such a short time. You feel
I
the
know it's not
loss.
gonna work, but I go up and try and pat him.
Your hand glides straight through him, and he doesn't react.
I just keep doing it.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And then I look back at Kin, and I'm like, how come you can do it?
There is something. Your hand just glides through. You can't touch LJ. They don't react physically, they don't move, but there's something you can feel. Just the littlest twinge of comfort. Comfort laced with melancholy.
I'm gonna stare at Kin.
This one waits for you too, as do many others. And the scene fades, LJ fades with it, and you're back on the battlefield. And two doors here, both large and grand and arched, much larger than you, not just physically, but in their presence. They feel overbearing. Through one. My music has died. Through one, you feel it's cold, but almost in the way that cold can soothe a burn. Like, it's good. It's pleasant. It feels like relief. And through the other, you hear voices echoing. Firstly, and I apologise, because I can't give them the same level as your friends did. But the words are, I swore to protect you, and I failed. I'll never forgive myself for that. I don't know if I deserve to serve Sune anymore. I need to make things right. The world is still in danger. The promise you made to Lady Fia to fight this growing evil still stands. The world needs you. Lady Fia needs you. I need you. Please, don't leave us. Don't leave me. And then another voice.
I'm crying right now. In character and out of character, yep.
Tori, I know we've not always been on the best terms, but I believe we did have quite a few moments of camaraderie together. Honestly, we've all been missing you. LJ and Faith, most of all. They're hanging in there for now, but I'm not sure how long we'll keep it together. We need you, and we're trying our best to get you back.
Just gonna see shock come across Tori's face.
There's one more voice. And I won't do a full Clue impression, because I can't. But everyone is sad now. Shiny person, shaking cat, and me. I want to look at the stars with you again, and talk, and think together. I was scared and angry, and I wanted you to tell me a story. Like you said, we need help. You have to wake up. And there's one more. Not so much a voice as calling, yowling meows, a very sad and desperate little kitty. who wants you to come home, who just wants his mom back. And this is not the first time that he has felt such sorrow. But to experience it twice in such a short time, it breaks his little heart.
I just fall to my knees, sobbing. After a bit of time, and I kind of regain when I get my bearings. I'm just gonna turn and look at Kin and be like, "So you're saying I get another chance? I can fix this?"
Those who love you have tried hard to bring you back, but the choice is yours. I will leave you now. All the time you need. And in much the same way that they appeared and moved closer, they disappear in a way where you can't see them leave. They're just gone. Like they were never there.
Even though she disappeared, I'm just gonna say, thank you for giving me a choice. I don't know how often you give out choices to people who are put in this situation, but regardless, thank you. And I hope you're not disappointed in my decision.
You get not words, but a sense of acknowledgement and a feeling that they will never be disappointed in you. And that this choice is yours to make, no matter what.
Thank you. But I hope I don't see you again for a while. And I'm gonna turn around and face the doors. And I'm gonna look to the left and be like, it really would be a hell of a lot easier to just give it all up. But what was the point of anything if not to keep going and keep trying and follow it all through? They need me. And that's worth any kind of suffering. As long as I can be with them together. And I'm going to run through the warm door, I think it was.
The one to bring you back to life?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I would like everyone else to return to the table, please.
Can you join on there?
In the call?
Yeah, can you join the call through your Discord?
No,
Why not?
because it's on Chrome. It's not the Discord app.
It's fine if Ravel just wants to sit next to you.
Yeah, I don't, my speakers are fucked and I've only got a huge pair of headphones. Yeah, grab the chair and come sit here. We're gonna have to just try and make this work. Okay.
Grab a chair, little one.
Please hold.
Okay.
I'm here.
Hello.
It should be fine. We're gonna find out.
Okay. So, as the rest of you are all in this study, in the Rosh, and these specters, these spirits, wandering souls, dissipate and disappear as that diamond drops and then also disappears. Tori shifts just slightly before she blinks her eyes open. And Tori, you are in an unfamiliar place. You've never seen this place before. You're laid on the cold hard ground, surrounded by friends and a number of cats and a strange orc fellow who looks friendly.
Okay, I'm gonna try and sit up.
You feel stiff and achy and very, very tired. But I'd say the rest of you can all see her struggling to try and sit up. Would like to help her.
Faith's gonna go rushing over, letting her sword just fall to the floor behind her. And she'll immediately just wrap Tori in this huge hug and just sob quietly into her shoulder.
Oh my god, Faith. Did I actually die?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm so sorry.
I swear, if you ever do this to me again, I'll kill you myself.
That sounds pretty fair. I really don't want to do that again. Also, if LJ's nearby, I'm just gonna grab him and like fucking squish him.
Oh, he is right next to you. He was
I'm
yowling mere
violently
moments
hugging
ago.
him. I'm like, I'm so sorry, LJ. I didn't want to put you through this a second time. I promise. Never again. Never again.
Does LG like do something?
He's
He's being crushed currently.
being squished, yeah.
Yeah.
And he vibrates like intensely, flickering back and forth in excitement.
Oh no.
And he's a little confused, but he's happy
I'll
you're
bet.
back. Also, Tori,
Yeah.
you currently have 4 levels of exhaustion, which means
Holy shit.
your hit point maximum is halved. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on ability checks. Each night that you sleep will remove 1 level of that.
Exhaustion. Great.
On the plus
Great.
side, you're not dead. So
Yeah, I mean, there's an upside, you know.
ups and downs, ups and downs.
Ups and
yeah.
downs. Glad to be back, Zulil.
I think Clue, like seeing Tori rise from the dead, I'm just gonna take a couple steps back, like a little scared. I'm gonna stay there.
Where was Clue?
Quite close to the circle, I think.
Hello?
Pretty close to the circle.
So would I have seen her move back?
Yeah. I mean, you can see the entire room around you, pretty much.
Okay. I'm gonna give her a wave and be like,
I'm gonna like take another step. Still not trusting.
I'm gonna look at Faith and be like, is there something on my face? Do I look different? Am I the same?
You look fucking tired.
I feel fucking tired. I feel 4 points of exhaustion tired.
You look like you died. Ha 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 ha. Anyway.
Cool, I don't bite.
What? What are you not buying?
I'm like, Faith, can you give me a hand? I'm gonna try and stand up.
And Faith's just gonna lift Tori up.
Okay.
Bride still?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, considering you just picked my whole ass up, can you take me over to Clue?
Oh, it's okay. And she'll slowly sort of walk towards Clue. It's okay, Clue.
Yes,
It's
you see.
Tori.
Yeah, I realize it's Tori. Like, I guess you'll see like my arm, like really fucked up.
Yeah, it's real fucked up, and there's a gauntlet on it that you recognize from the people who killed you.
The fuck is that?
You can just kind of hide it slowly behind my back. Like, nothing.
I'm gonna look at Faith and be like, what the fuck is that?
We don't know yet. She took it off the leader.
Yeah, I thought it looked familiar.
She just put it on while we were, well, when you went down, I kind of went a little nuts. While we were, trying to take care of you, she put the gauntlet on, and she talks to it.
Oh, God. That cannot be good.
No, I don't think so, but we were kind of preoccupied with you.
Sorry about that.
You don't need to apologize. If anyone needs to say sorry, it's me. I let you down, and I'm never
Faith.
gonna let that happen again.
Faith, no. I did this to myself. I egged on the DM.
True.
I mean, you did tell me to.
Sorry.
It was my job to keep you safe. I swore to Lady Fear that I would keep you safe. And I failed at that. That's on me.
Faith, you can't protect everyone all the time. I
No,
always feel better having you by my side, but shit happens. And this time, shit happened. And you
when
brought
shit
me back.
happens, yeah, we got lucky. Like, when shit happens, people die. And I'm just gonna make sure you can fucking fight next time.
Are you gonna personally train me?
Yeah, damn straight.
Hell yeah. It was worth coming back. I promise, Faith. I promise I'm gonna try and get stronger and I'm never gonna let this happen again. I promise.
That's a dangerous promise to make. But I'm gonna hold you to it.
Good. If you're gonna hold yourself to such promises, I can hold my own. Now,
Darian
Clue,
just
come
wipes
here.
a tear from his eye. It's like, I'm so happy that your friend is back.
Dude, I'm sorry, but when you speak, like as this guy, I only imagine Winston.
I am
Winston
not a
Overlord.
monkey. I'm an orc.
Did someone say peanut butter?
Yeah, he like wipes a tear from his eye and says that. It was looking dicey for a second.
I'm
Can't
just looking
thank
around the
you
room
enough.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you have no idea who this guy is.
What's going on?
This is Darian LaRoche. He's the person that cast the spell that allowed you to come back.
Whoa, thank you, good sir.
It was my pleasure, and it's my pleasure to meet you. And he holds out his hand.
I lift up a weak ass hand that's like struggling.
He gives it a gentle shake and then lets go.
It's kind of amazing what you did. Thank you. Like I don't know how I could ever repay you.
You need not repay me for this. That has already been handled. And I am glad that I could help a friend of Sleipnir's. Any friend of his is a friend of mine.
Okay, I'll thank Sleipnir.
And he sort of nods to you. That exhaustion, I'm afraid, is an unavoidable side effect of the difficulty of returning to the mortal realm. But it will fade, given a few days.
I think that's a fair price to pay. I will try and not get into any fights over the next few days.
This dies again.
Roll for
That
initiative.
would probably be for the best.
Right. I'm just gonna kind of signal with Faith to let me down. Just put me on my feet.
And Faith's gonna sort of hesitate for a second and then sigh and then let you down, but kind of hold you, like still support you.
Okay. I'm gonna like hold LJ, look down at his little face, give him a big scritch on the head, and then just look around at everyone and say, I honestly could never thank you all enough. And not just for bringing me back from the dead, which is crazy enough in itself, but just for everything. For everything from the moment we met up until now. Everything we've learned, everything we've gone through, everything we've shared. All the highs and the lows, and everything that got us to right now. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course, no worries.
Group
Of
hug.
course.
Yeah, fucking no biggie, obviously.
No worries, mate.
Sure, no problem.
Hey,
Easy ass.
no problem.
Fucking
It's right. There were no walls involved, so it was fine.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna take like a very quick shy steps and like hug Tori's leg.
Aw.
I'm gonna pat Clue on the head. Just me. Same old Tori.
I mean, you would have done the same for I say either, but any of us really. So I feel like it's fairly, you know, I want to call it not that big of a deal, but we just brought someone back to life, and that feels like somewhat of a big deal, you know. Like,
What a big deal, yeah.
who knows if we're God now, but you
I mean,
know,
we're not.
I might
Darren
be.
is.
I might be. You
I
don't know
mean,
where I've been.
however,
Inside check.
Tori's a god now.
Very meta god now.
Mm.
On this date, going forward, everyone eats chocolate LJs to celebrate.
why would we want to eat chocolate LJs?
Well, because it's not Easter, but it's near as damn it.
Story day. Oh my god. Actually,
Before we wrap up this session, there is one more thing.
oh god, that sounds so ominous.
Ravel, can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Well, since we've already had you talk with the gauntlet without a private call, we shall do so again.
Alright.
You feel its voice once again enter your mind. Your friend is back. Enjoy your victory. But don't forget about your sister, your mother, you. Cannot undo what has been done, but we can still find those who wronged you. I promised you the power to give them what they deserved, and in return, you promised to free me from this prison. I will not allow you to endanger our accord. So, despite the tension early today, we can either cooperate and both get what we want, or you can, as the dwarves say, fuck around and find out. And it releases the control it had over you earlier. Do what you will, but remember, you will both suffer the consequences.
Both as in what?
As in, you and the gauntlet will both suffer consequences if you endanger their accord.
Oh, sure. I was gonna say to like, you're wrong. It's not my victory, it's our victory. We're a team now, and you will help me. If I help you. Remember?
We have a deal. And I will keep to it.
Right.
We're friends. So let's get clean then.
Yes. Friend. And you feel the voice fade from your mind. For now.
Does that mean I can like actually talk to them now, like about it?
You're able to. It's up to you now. It released its control.
Alright. I will smile and not say anything.
Okay. And I think this is a good place to end it. It's pretty freaking late.
Yeah, that was a long session.
Yeah, well, we did have to do 2 parts, effectively.
Yeah. That was awesome, Sherry. Seriously, that was so
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. I am
Oh,
glad
yeah.
that you all enjoyed it. It could have been dreadful, you never know.
Yeah, I was like sitting there like, what would Tori do?
It's like you get that far, and then TK's like, I'm gonna go through the dead door.
Yeah.
The choice was always there.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like trying to be like, obviously I don't want to die, but what would my character want to do?
Not
But-
fucking die.
Yeah, well, I
Apparently.
don't think so. Thanks, sorry.
And
I mean,
thank you all.
I think-
You've all done amazing today. You've done fantastic roleplay. You all came up with great things to say to her. Couldn't have done it without you all. And thank you, TK, especially for going one-on-one with me for a while there.
Hell yeah.
And doing so amazing with it. You are all fantastic. And I'm very glad that I get to play this game with you all.
Hell yeah, it's the best.
Hugs.
Beautiful life.
Aw.
hugs and kisses all around.
But yes, that is where we shall end it for the night. So, I'm not sure when our next session will be, because I think there's some things coming up for some of you, right?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
I will keep everyone updated on Discord and on Twitter and on my streams. So if you're not in the Discord, I think I have a command. Let me find out. Bam! There's the Discord. Join it if you'd like to. You can find my Twitter in the socials if you want to keep up to date. Or just, I will say it usually at the start or end of my streams. So yes, if you want to know when the next session is, that's your best chance. Also, you know, check out all these lovely people over here. They're all so amazing. They do their own things. And we'll see you all next time, I guess. No, you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.